Shalom, people. This is Brother Laos coming at you with another video. And we want to read 1 Timothy 5 and 22 today, and we're going to take our thought from there. 1 Timothy 5 and 22 reads, "Lay hands suddenly on no man, neither be partaker of another man's sin. Keep thyself pure." Paul here is talking to Timothy, who is leading this particular congregation. And in this verse, Paul is talking to him about the ordination of ministers and deacons in order to help him minister amongst the people, because that's what the laying on of hands is. It's not laying on of hands to pray for people, but the laying on of the hands to ordain them into the ministry amongst the people there in that particular congregation. Paul said that if you suddenly lay hands on these people without finding out their character, without finding out their background, without finding out are their life in shambles, is their life full of sin, is there inconsistencies in their belief, if you lay hands suddenly on them and they are guilty of these different things, and they go out and they minister amongst these people, and they can cause hurt or harm to the people of Yah, Paul said that you will become partaker of their sin, ye that will give them the right hand of ordination to minister to the people of Yah. You would take on the responsibility. You would take on the penalty of those sins that they would be committing in the name of the Most High, because you had given them that authority. And this is a very serious thing here. This is a very serious penalty to say that if I have an elder or a deacon and I have a group of people that I'm ministering to, and I call them in to work alongside me in ministering to the people of Yah, and I don't go out and see what kind of life they're living, I will be just as guilty of what they're doing as they are, because I gave them access. Does this remind you of Eli and his wicked sons, who, because he would not stop them, because he would not reprimand them, because he would not stand up and thrust them out the ministry like he should have, that the Bible says that as they were stealing the offerings, as they were sleeping with the women on the steps of the tabernacle, that he made the people of Yah to despise the offering, that they didn't want to come down there anymore to worship the Lord as they worshiped him back then in coming to the tabernacle, because of what the people was going to have to put up with. And because of that, Yah said that he was going to destroy the line of Eli. Even though Eli was not the one stealing the offering, Eli was not the one that was sleeping with the women, but it was his sons, because he gave them the what? Authority to do it. So this is a serious charge. But one would say, Brother Laos, with this internet thing, we don't have to deal with that no more because we're not most of the ministries that you see on YouTube is usually a one man thing where they don't have anyone per se that is ministering with them. It's usually them and them alone, or maybe them and their spouse that might be ministering right alongside with them. But outside of that, they don't have no elders, they don't have no deacons or anything like that. Well, I want to we want to see what is comparable to what Paul is saying to Timothy here in this verse. If you have a ministry on YouTube or Facebook, you do have ones that you might believe that you would like to collab with, those that you believe you are in agreement with, at least for what you could see their beliefs and their teachings. That if you as one that have your own YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, were asked to collab with someone and you would present this person as one that you would be in agreement with before your people, right? And you would tell them to, hey, subscribe to their channel. Hey, their teachings is this. Hey, they're okay with me. I would say that to me is almost the equivalent of laying hands or saying, hey, they okay with me. It's okay to access their teachings. It's okay to access their beliefs. And that if those ones that would be ones that are part of your channel, part of your what you consider to be YouTube ministry, if you tell them to access these people's ministry and these people that go over there and these people run off the rail, then that one that goes over there, faith is shaken or thrown off, I could almost say that you will be accountable for that because you directed them to that person. You vouch for that person. Now, if you got them on your collab or whatever, and you say, hey, we don't see eye to eye on this or that, right? But you didn't recommend them, then that's another story, right? Because I have seen that, right? But to be honest, if I wasn't in agreement with them, I probably wouldn't bring them on my channel anyway, because people are not always going to listen, right, with intelligence. They might just see what you did a collab with such and such and just automatically assume, right, hey, he's saying that they okay. And so this tells me that we have to be very, very, very careful, all right, or who we talking about, what books we promote, what channels we promote, what Bibles we promote, all this kind of stuff, what kind of writings we promote. Because I'm telling you, like I said, this thing of the Black Christian church, as it's starting to come down, and a lot of these people are flooding these online ministries. I'm telling you, people are going to be hanging on your every word, right? And you say, well, I myself is not even a quote unquote ordained minister. No one laid hands on me. I just believe that the Most High Yah placed upon me to start a channel and give my understanding of the Bible or whatever. And even though I might have 10,000 people that subscribe to my channel, I'm not their quote unquote leader. But if they're listening to you, if they're leaving comments in your comment section saying, hey, you know what, I was blessed by what you said, everything, you you still in the de facto hold some kind of responsibility on the things that comes out of your mouth to them, and that includes who and what you recommend. If you believe the scriptures, that let the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Yah, my strength and my redeemer, that I can't, get up here and you can't get up here and say, you know what, Antoine LaVey is a very interesting character, and I went past the Church of Satan, and they got some interesting things that I think would be good for you to. You understand what I'm saying? So he's like, well, yeah, you don't have to do everything that I say, but if you say something like that, and these people go to the Church of Satan website or YouTube channel, whatever these wicked people have, and then they start reading it, and then they start saying, you know what, those beliefs are not too bad, and they start grabbing hold to that. Man, the Bible said every idle word that comes out of our mouth shall be judged. What is the most? I came back and said, that time you talked about Antoine LaVey and all those things that you said, it was very interesting, some of the things that they believe, but you didn't really make it clear to the people that before you go over there, you shouldn't be going over there. You should be prayed up. You should be whatever. Did you mention that? Because it was several people that was on your channel that went over there and they took what you said and they listened to whatever this guy was saying about Antoine LaVey, and they took it the wrong way. I can think about this stuff that came out, some years ago with the Mormonism, where people was talking about the Book of Mormon and the crystal tablets of Thoth and all these kind of things. And then how some people went and they started listening to certain people and they got taken away into all this crazy stuff that they're teaching about Utah, being the land, and the Book of Mormon being part of our book and all this kind of stuff. I listen to that kind of stuff, and I'm telling you, we got to be careful. And although I think the Most High, if I had one person that would subscribe to my channel, I would still talk the way I am. And I thank the Most High for the 51 people that I have subscribed to my channel today. So I would say, to those that are subscribed to my channel, like I said, if it is certain things that I might speak or I might teach that you definitely not in agreement with, definitely, seek the Most High about it. And if he say, hey, I don't think what Brother Lyles is talking about is right, by all means, don't tell people to subscribe to my channel. Don't tell people to leave a comment on my channel. Don't tell people to give me a thumbs up if you don't believe that, right? Because if you believe that I'm teaching something that is not, then you shouldn't point people in my direction. Now, like I said, there can be inerrant things that people might say that they're not meaning for you to go off and listen to other people. Like, it could be things dealing with politics and different things like that. But we're primarily dealing with the word of Yah. We're primarily dealing with the souls of people. So it ain't got nothing to do with, I recommend you watch MSNBC or watch CNN. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about things dealing with teaching. I'm talking about things dealing with beliefs and different things like that. Just like that guy, Jonathan, the one out of the Congo, when they was talking about Simon Toko and all these kind of things. I'm talking about stuff like that, where when you recommend stuff to people toward that, and then they get off into worshiping Simon Toko and all these different things, you hold accountability for recommending that people, even though you say, I didn't physically go over there and put, hey, but you directed people. If you directed people toward the Congo and all these different things, what they doing, or you directed people to, I can remember, and I always give Josh and Mo of Hebrew Nation Building their props. Why you don't see them doing a lot of collabs and stuff with people. I used to when I was watching Hebrew Nation Building, and we getting ready to end this video on this note. I can remember when they was dealing with that guy Rabbi Quinte, right, out of Ghana. I can remember they was talking about they was getting ready to go over there and different things that they was discussing with him about the different things that some of the tribes in West Africa was doing. And I can remember the one program they came out and they said, look, we made a mistake. This guy, Rabbi Quinte, we over and over, we asked him, were you a believer in Yeshua or Jesus, as some of you call it? And he said, yeah. And he said, but we have come across understanding that, no, this guy's not believing in Yeshua like that. He's not in this stuff he's talking to us about pouring out libations and all this stuff. This is being poured out to other gods and different things. He said, we telling you right now, don't deal with that guy. It's not, they said, we leaving it alone. And to their credit, I seen them. They left it alone. They understood that they had legitimized this guy, and that it was people going and studying and everything. And he was like, no, don't do it. This is what I'm talking about that we seeing today. And because, like I said, everybody's got their own little channel or whatever thing, whatever. There is no, you come into my physical congregation amongst me or assembly or whatever. That's not there. But the influence of what you're saying out to those people that are subscribed to you about certain individuals, to me, is the same difference as if what Paul was telling Timothy, that he was saying, these people that I have laid hands, I'm telling you, they have legitimacy for you to listen to and let them minister to you too. So if you're saying, let this one that believes that Joseph is the father of Yeshua, if you're saying, I'm giving you a recommendation to this person, that this is a person that you should let minister to you about the scriptures, then I believe it's the same difference that you would be partakers of their sin if that person get carried away off into that belief. Now, if you casually mention that, on this point, this brother, I might be in agreement with him, but in this point, I would totally nullify dealing with him because he has this belief that, Yeshua is not divine. Then that's a different story. If the people continue on listening to them afterward, then it's on them. But we got to be very clear, and we got to be very clean cut on what we are saying. Because like I said, as people flood into this, the natural inclination of everyone is to, listen to people that they perceive to be in authority, even if they're hesitant. So we got, and I'm talking to myself too, we got to be very careful. And I have, like I said, over 300 some videos, and it's been, that's a lot of videos. So if any of you go back and look at any of those videos, you see where I might have recommended or talked about somebody in ministry that now is out there, bring it to my attention. And I will be one to quickly say, forgive me. And if I at one time recommended these people or even followed out to some of their beliefs or teachings, then I will get before and I would say, hey, I don't do that. I'm repenting of that. I'm not recommending them for anything. And so this is why, another reason why sometimes I like what the first century believers did. They said even if a person wanted to become a member of an assembly, they would give them a good year of observing their life and different things before they would even baptize them back then. And one of the reasons I think they also wanted to do that is because they wanted these people that was come amongst them to know, hey, this thing is a life and death situation. A good example that would be those that come to faith in Yeshua over there in some of the Arab Muslim countries, or even in China, that if one withdrawn a secret underground assembly, right, and they get caught, they like to be taken just like that. They might have been leave one day, and within a month or maybe even less, they could get caught by the authorities and say, do you believe in Yeshua as your savior and all that? And they say, yeah, okay, go out and take them to the firing squad and kill them. So that this thing is serious, that we take it when we look, that we would know certain ones for a while to see what their teachings and their directions and their ministries is before we would even come forth and be part of that. So with that, it's just something that was on my mind because, like I said, there's so many, people that's coming online now, leaving traditional media. You can see where Sports Illustrated is going away because there's so many online sports things on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram that are doing just as good or even better job than Sports Illustrated. And pretty soon, it's going to be the same with ESPN, that people are going to, say, hey, why am I going to ESPN when we got such and such? We even got Stephen A., even though we might not like him, but those that like Stephen A., they can say, well, you know what? If ESPN would be able to get rid of him, he still has his own line thing that he does for himself. So that seems to be the way that's the world that's going. And that's not even talk about when AI gets control of this thing, because we know that AI can create faces and people and voices and different things and content. That's as you see that. So we got to be even careful with that, especially some of these channels that might not have a face. And like I said, AI can create content. It can pretty much pull in anything and talk about anything. So that we gotta be very careful about, and I'm talking to myself too, about who and what we recommend these days, because we got to be led by the Holy Spirit in everything that we do. So with that, I'm gonna ask you to give this video a thumbs up. I'm gonna ask you to leave a comment, and I'm gonna ask you to subscribe. Be blessed.